Peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Trevor. Very grateful to have you here. And today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my weekly rotation here just into the middle of March. So today's the 18th, so I believe this is rounding out like the 12th through the 17th or so, ending off on St. Patrick's Day. So formally, I would like to apologize for a lack of uploading lately. My life has been preoccupying me a lot. I'm working full time. Me and my wife are on opposite shifts with no days off together. We just had a new baby. So we've got 2 kids under 2, and I'm also fasting for Ramadan right now, so really lacking a lot of energy, spending 5 a.m. till 7 p.m. without food or drink. My capacity to think is a little bit limited, and I've just been incredibly drained. But that aside, I have really been enjoying the fragrances that I've been wearing. This entry point into the spring here technically doesn't begin until the 20th, but we've had some nice varying degrees of weather where I'm at least. A couple of the days we're kind of up towards the 80-degree mark, whereas today I don't think we're even going to break the 30-degree mark. So I have had the opportunity to kind of wear a good swath of different spring fragrances that appeal to some of the more colder aspects of it and some of the more lighthearted and sunny sides of the springtime. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the first fragrance that I wore for Monday last week. That is Sauvage Parfum, the 2017 version. This was kind of a dumb reach. I think I just finished uploading my weekly rotation for last week and was kind of on a time crunch, had to get into work really quick shortly thereafter and was running out the door. Just reached for this one because it's tried and true for me, one of my favorite DNAs in my collection, right behind maybe the Dior Homme line. This, the Cologne version, the original EDT, and the 2012 version are some of the staples in my collection and ones that I would for sure keep if I could only whittle down the collection to a small number. Absolutely stunning stuff. You get that beautiful barbershop style appeal with a nice kind of, I want to say, soapy texture from a vetiver, a beautiful lavender, a nice citron that makes it fresh and cologne-like and sparkly, and just rounds out things to be a well-balanced fragrance, I would say, because it has some density to it, yet that nice sparkly freshness going on from the citric qualities in here. Absolute stunning juice, and definitely something I would recommend checking out if you haven't already. That's Sauvage Parfum, the 2017 version for Monday. Okay, for Tuesday, really have been looking forward to wearing this one since last spring. One of my favorite green fragrances in my entire collection, and a fairly affordable niche fragrance. I think the 30 mLs bottle sizes that this come in, you can get for under $100, and maybe just over $100 for this size, which I believe is like 85 ml, not quite a full 100 ml, but this is Mousse Illuminee from Rogue Perfumery. And this, although it's not technically a Fougere, it does have some of a shaving cream style scent profile appeal to it. It definitely has a good dollop of oak moss, which is Mousse Illuminee, illuminated moss is what this is, and it really articulates the name of the fragrance quite well. It definitely has this very bright, almost like lemon lime soda style, sparkly opening, and then it has this creamy shaving foam style texture going on and underneath of it. Very beautiful green fragrance, and one of my, if not my second most complimented green fragrance in my collection, right behind Green Irish Tweed. Definitely surprised me because it does have a little bit of an old school appeal, but something about the sort of, like I said, that lemon lime kind of, it's not really fruity, but it does have like a Sprite sensibility to it. It seems to attract some attention. I've gotten multiple compliments on this one, and really looking forward to wearing this one a lot more throughout the course of March. This is Mousse Illuminee from Rogue Perfumery. Highly recommend checking out this brand. I've only owned 2 from the brand now, but I'm looking forward to sampling more, and this is my top pick from them right now. Mousse Illuminee from Rogue Perfumery for Tuesday. Okay, Wednesday. This is a fragrance that has been growing on me. It's not quite the most versatile in my collection, I would say, so I reach for it sparingly, but the more and more that I wear it, the more and more that I can appreciate the artistry behind this one. This is Chanel 19 Eau de Parfum, and this is technically a woman's fragrance, but it does have such a nice leather quality to it, as well as a green quality. Main notes that I get in here are iris, rose, leather, aldehydes, and galbanum is what kind of comes off to me with this. Every time I put it on, my wife asks me if I sprayed something with rose in it, because it does kind of smell a little bit like a bouquet of roses, like the green plant aspects of a bouquet of roses with a nice leathery undertone and a powdery iris texture going on. The reason that it's something that I reach for sparingly is because it does have a little bit of this posh, upscale vibe to it, something that I would wear dressed up, I think, more so, and I haven't really had an occasion to be dressed up in. But it was a little bit more chilly on Wednesday where I was at, and this, I think, does a really good job of those intermittent days where it's kind of on the cusp of being warm, but it's still got a cool spring breeze that makes it feel a little bit chilly when the wind comes through. So this was absolutely stunning stuff, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, I don't post there often, but I did get a pretty good shot of this one for my scent of the day category, or I catalog my scent of the day on Instagram, and this one I got a pretty good shot of it in a puddle as the rains came through the night before, and then the sun broke out, so it was just a nice little pond-esque feeling that this one I caught a shot of. But overall, a really beautiful wearing experience, and something that I would definitely wear to like a spring type wedding or something of that occasion. I definitely recommend trying to get your nose on it and sampling it, maybe going to a Sephora and seeing if they have it in stock and seeing if this one is for you, because I think the way that it is blended and constructed, this is quite masterful in terms of its composition. But like I said, it is a woman's fragrance, marketed to women, and it does have a little bit of an old school posh upscale feel to it, so it might not be the most versatile, but definitely worth checking this one out. This is Chanel 19 Eau de Parfum. Okay, that was for Wednesday. Thursday, I think, was my most enjoyable wearing experience for the week. This is probably my favorite scent profile out of the fragrances that I wore here, and one of my favorites for the springtime overall. It does, again, this one leans a little bit feminine. I've seen some people who I respect say that they tried it out and it wasn't for them because it was too floral, but I absolutely love this stuff. It has overdose of tuberose, a really nice dry down into a lavender that I find quite masculine, and then it has this almost like minty kind of freshness. I don't think there's any mint in here, but this is Fougere Emeraude from Les Indemodables. So Les Indemodables is quite expensive, but I think they are one of the highest quality niche houses that I've gotten to try out so far. I own this in Vanille Havane from them, and hoping to own the entire collection eventually. They're right around $250 per 50 ml, so that, like I said, very expensive. From time to time, Scent Split, they will send you a coupon. Like if you add this to cart on Scent Split and then let it just sit for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, Scent Split will send you like a 10% off coupon, and then if you don't buy it, they'll be like, okay, hey, here's like a 12% off coupon. And eventually they will hit you up with a 15% off, and you can get these for like $215 instead of $260. So I would recommend maybe going to Lucky Scent, though. I think they have a sample set. You can check them out on there. But this, like I said, favorite wearing experience of the week. Beautiful, powdery, floral. It get almost like the fleshy quality of the flower petals coming off in terms of the textural feel. And then, like I said, it does have that Fougere style lavender dry down. But it's so very reminiscent of the spring. It just feels like you're falling into a bed of flowers with this one, and but it still has that Fougere style appeal, which is my favorite genre of fragrance. That is Fougere Emeraude, which translates to Emerald Fougere for Thursday. And Friday, this was another one that I was kind of strapped for time running out the door to get to work with. My wife just came in from outside after we're in the middle of moving as well, so a lot of my fragrances are boxed up at the moment. It's another reason why I've been kind of off-putting content, because we're all packed up. And so she just got back from taking a few things to the new house and came in and said that it was really cold outside. Subsequently, the day ended up getting up into like the 60 degrees later on, so this wasn't the most harmonious pick, I want to say. Is probably my least favorite wearing experiences for this week, just because it's really well suited for colder weather. But this is my fragrance today for Friday. This is Amouage Epic Man, and while I absolutely adore this in the cold weather, one of my favorite reaches for the month of January, where myrrh is a fragrance note that I really like to don at the time because of its depth and resinous quality, but also kind of the cologne aspect that it gets from having, there's like a freshness to resin at times. But the wearing experience with this in the more warmer weather, I got a lot more of the spicy qualities coming out. And it was still enjoyable. This does have, to me at least, a little bit of a fresh shower gel style appeal with more of like an outdoorsy feel, but the dryness of the spices was really a bit cloying the hotter the weather there was for that day. But overall, it was still enjoyable. Something that I think I could get away with inside when I was in the building, but since I deliver for the restaurant and I'm outside quite a bit, it was a little bit much at times. But this is Amouage's Epic Man for Friday. Still one of my favorite winter fragrances, just not something I would recommend in the higher heat. So that was Friday. Saturday, this is a fragrance that I'm really glad that I picked up. It's very difficult to get a hold of stateside. I think it's kind of easy to find over in Europe though. I actually bought this, I think I got it imported from Poland from makeup.com. It's a discounter that I've used a few times, but don't frequent that often anymore because they go through a shipping service to the States that's through Ukraine that is like incredibly unreliable and very low rating. Sadly, I ordered, I got a good deal from them on Bottega Veneta Extreme. It reached all the way to my local post office and then got rerouted back to return because the middleman that they were using like put the wrong address, and so I never ended up getting that bottle, sadly. I would have paid $100 for that. But anyways, I digress. This fragrance is a beautiful, uplifting, joyful fragrance that I got off of Chris at Scentland's recommendation, and this is STR8 Ahead. And I think this is the name of the brand, STR8. And this, the longevity's not the greatest. I got about 5 hours with it, wore it out to the park, went on a walk with my kids out in the local nature because we were just getting a little bit stir crazy hanging out at the house all day. But for me, this is, you know, some of the main notes that stick out to me are lavender, geranium, bergamot, and vanilla. So you do an iris. So the iris brings in a powdery component to the textural feel of the fragrance. The lavender, there's some rosemary, gives it this herbaceous, almost Fougere style appeal. But then the bergamot and the vanilla give this, it reminds me of like, you know, the lemon head candy, as if it were a bergamot head. So it's a kind of like this candied bergamot that just has this very uplifting, bright, almost mouth-watering, juicy tart quality in here, and then that nice creamy lavender geranium feel going on with the herbaceous Fougere appeal intermixed with that tart bergamot. Just super lively, uplifting, joyful, and then the powdery texture from the iris, which is something that I love too. This is just, I think, one of the best dumb reach springtime fragrances. And if you are in Europe, I believe you can find this for right around like $10 at like a drugstore. So definitely recommend trying to score one of these. Don't overpay for it stateside, but one of my top 10 picks for spring cheapies for sure if you can get a hold of it. Then thank you, Chris, over at Scentland for the recommendation. This is STR8 Ahead for Saturday. And finally, Sunday was St. Patrick's Day, so inevitably I had to wear this one, and might even be my scent of the day, wearing it 2 days in a row because it is, in my opinion, a 9 out of 10 fragrance, one of my favorite Fougeres in my collection. This is Patrick Cologne from Fragrances of Ireland. As you can see, I've got a pretty good dent in it, so I do love wearing this one, and they don't list any lavender or geranium in the note breakdown, either on Fragrantica or Parfumo for this one, but they do list fern or Fougere notes, so I think there is a subset of an accord that encompasses that. But carnation and rose also add this very nice floral and spicy component to the otherwise beautiful classical Fougere's appeal. This does not feel dated at all, though. It does have a really nice dollop of oak moss that is very textured. It kind of has that carpet style texture to the oak moss in here, and like I said, a little bit spicy from that carnation. But beautiful, beautiful stuff. Creamy, very creamy in its textural feel as well. So it's like a creamy carpet in terms of the texture. Beautiful, uplifting, green vibes going on. Otherwise, just absolutely stunning juice, and probably my second most favorite wearing experience. Just because I love Fougere as a genre. So like this, the Dior and the Fougere Emeraude, I think were the all-stars for me last week. And this I wish I would have done like a full review or mentioned it earlier in the month, because I would have liked other people to have it for St. Patty's Day. But it is a affordable fragrance. They do run discount codes for it from time to time on the website that I got it from. I think it is at base level $45, but with the 15% off coupon that they do deals fairly frequently thereof, it comes down into that sub $40 range. So definitely check this one out if you can. This is one of my favorite Fougeres in my collection, especially in the affordable price range, and definitely also another in my top 10 spring cheapies. This is Patrick Cologne from Fragrances of Ireland for Sunday. So thank you for sitting with me to the end of the video here, following me through with my fragrance rotation here for last week leading up to today, March 18th. Let me know if you tried any of these in the comment section down below, and if you're interested in any of them or planning to try any of these out as well, and what your weekly rotation was in the comment section. And as always, I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.